Let's see how we can use Excel to calculate summary statistics for a single variable. In this case, let's assume that we asked a number of people whose names are A, B, C, D, and so on about the number of books that they read during the summer holidays. So A says, I read 5 books, B says, I read 6 books, C says, I read 2 books, and so on. The data is summarized in a list, and we want to calculate the mean number of books read by those people. The data is not sorted, and it doesn't matter. We can sort it. We've seen that in the previous video, but we don't really care about the order now. In order to calculate the mean, choose an empty cell and type in an equal sign. This indicates that there's a process coming. A formula is to be done by Excel, and just type in average. This is the word used by Excel for the mean. Open bracket and then highlight the cells whose mean you want to calculate. Close the bracket. Here you can see that you're calculating the average of the data in cells B2 up to and including B31. You press enter and you get this number. This is the mean. So it's a good idea to write next to it mean so that you'll know what this number represents. And obviously this kind of accuracy is meaningless. Let's say you want to work to 3 significant figures. Here you can reduce the number of decimal places. So you choose the appropriate level, 4.57. It does the rounding for you. So this is the mean number of books read by this group of people during the summer holidays. The median is done in much the same way. So median, and put the cursor in the empty cell where you want the median calculated, and simply type in equals median, open bracket, highlight the cells again, close the bracket and enter, and here you go, the median is 4. For the mode, same process, equals mode, open bracket, and the mode is 6. Obviously it counted the data and found that the most frequent item of data was was 6. You can also calculate the standard deviation. So equals standard deviation, ST for standard, DEV for deviation, P for population, because you're calculating dot P, you're calculating the standard deviation of the population, not the sample. Open bracket, choose the data, and this is your standard deviation. Obviously you can reduce the number of decimal places, and that's standard deviation. You can calculate the minimum or the maximum of the data set. Simply choose equals min, open bracket, and choose the data set, and 0 is the minimum, because there is a 0 somewhere here in the data. Here it is, and this is the minimum value in this entire column. Similarly, the maximum can be calculated by max, open bracket, highlight the cells, and 14 is the largest data point, which is this one. You can also calculate the quartiles. So equals quartile, and open bracket, choose the data, and then you need a comma to say which quartile you're looking for. If you're looking for the first quartile, you put a comma and a 1. Close the bracket, and this is your first quartile. If you want to calculate the third quartile, this is done in the same way, equals quartile, open bracket, choose the data, and comma, and tell it that it's the third quartile. Close the bracket, and this is your third quartile. Now, with the median, the minimum, the maximum, the first quartile, and the third quartile, you can, of course, draw the box and whisker diagram. Then again, this is something that Excel can do for you. If you choose the data and go to Insert and take this arrow to see all the charts, all the possible charts, you will find that when you choose the tab All Charts, there is somewhere down here a box and whisker. So when you choose the box and whisker, there you have it. The minimum is 0. It shows the data up to 9, and then it indicated the outlier outside the whiskers. This is a possible way to draw box and whiskers, where you indicate a certain level for the whiskers and you indicate the outliers by a point. It's not the same thing that we did in class, but then it's a possible way of doing it, but we did it the other way around. You know, the values here are on the y-axis, we did the values on the x-axis. Of course, you can choose the details and the presentation, the style. Okay, we don't need this now, we can remove this. Let's say you want to know how many people read let's say 6 books. Rather than go into the list and count the 6s, there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rather than do that, simply there's a nice formula. You put an equal sign, count if, open bracket, highlight the data, comma, and between double quotation marks put the 6. So it says count if. So if a cell contains a 6, it will be counted. And there it is. It's the 5. So the number of 6s. You want to count how many people read more than 5 books. So this becomes count if, open brackets, highlight the cells, comma, double quotation marks. You want to see the number of people who read more than 5 books, so greater than 5. Close the quotation marks and the bracket, and there are 12 people who read more than 5 books. More than 5. And if you want to see how many people read 8 or less, same thing, equals count if, highlight, comma, 8 or less, so this is less than or equal to 8, and that's 27 people. 8 or less. And you want to see, let's say, the number of those who read anything apart from those who read 0 books. So you're looking for all the data points except the one that is not equal to 0. So this equals count if, open brackets, comma, less than, greater than. This means not equal to. Let's say 0, and then that tells us that 29 people read some books, read a number of books, except, because the data points are 30, there's one person who read 0 books. This kind of counting can help you convert the data to a frequency table or to a group frequency table if you wish.